Energy Future for Neskantaga First Nation Biomass Power Generation System. Our community of Neskantaga First Nation is in an energy crisis. Electricity is supplied to the community by a very old diesel generator that is unreliable, costly to operate, and very damaging to our Mother Earth. It has to be replaced immediately. One option available is a biomass power generating plant that will be owned by the community and will create jobs for members. Chief and Council have directed Tagoka Development Corporation to complete a feasibility study and to negotiate a deal with the government. This presentation outlines a preliminary review on the proposed biomass power generating plant. Energy crisis. The diesel generating plant servicing our First Nation is owned and operated by Hydro One remotes. Diesel must be brought in on winter roads and stored in large tanks. The fuel only lasts a few months and then fuel must be flown in. The transportation of diesel is expensive and causes our energy costs to be extremely high. Most members cannot afford their energy bills. The energy bills for our community buildings are way too excessive, and this causes deficits in ban programs. Diesel is very harmful to Mother Earth. Burning diesel contributes to global warming and impacts climate change. There have been numerous spills in the community, and our drinking water has been affected. The generators are currently operating at capacity. This means that no new community buildings can be added. Neskantaga has been looking for a solution to get rid of our diesel generators. Energy proposal. Chief and Council believe that there is a renewable energy option superior than the diesel generators as a long-term energy solution for the community. Chief and Council signed a letter of intent with Tagoka Development Corporation on November 6, 2019 to look at a specific solution. Chief and Council approved a band council resolution on October 5, 2020, directing government to begin discussions on a proposed biomass power plant. Tagoka is nearing the completion of the feasibility study on the proposed biomass power generating station to displace the current diesel power plant. The new power plant will be First Nation owned and operated and will create jobs for Neskantaga members. The completed feasibility study will be brought back to the community members for comments and direction. This is the current diesel power plant providing power to the community. We do not see in this picture the large storage tanks that store diesel. This is very risky for our community. The exhaust and fuel spills impact the community directly. Diesel is also very costly to transport to Neskantaga, which causes our energy bills to be very high. It is very sad that the government owns and operates this plant and forces the community to live under these conditions. This has to change now. Neskantaga First Nation Energy Future. In order to meet the current and future needs of our First Nation, a new generating station that is twice the size of the current diesel plant is required. The proposed new generating station will use biomass, also known as wood chips, which will be harvested in methods approved by the community. We will target waste wood and fallen trees. The power plant will be owned 100% by the community and its chosen partners and will be completely financed by the private sector and government funders. There will be no financial contribution required from our community. The biomass power plant will create jobs in plant operations as well as harvesting and transporting the wood chips. There will be 25 jobs created during the construction phase and then 10 to 12 full-time jobs. Our community can partner with Tagoka to create a sustainable biomass system with enough capacity to meet everyone's needs now and in the future. There will be construction and long-term jobs created. Below is an example of what the proposed biomass power generation plant will look like upon completion. This is a larger system than we need, but an example of what the proposed new plant would look like. It is clean and very easy to maintain and operate. A biomass power plant has three main components that are needed to generate electricity. The first component is your fuel supply. We will be using wood chips that are brought to the power plant site. We will mainly be harvesting waste wood and clean out the fallen and bad trees, creating a healthier forest and preventing forest fires. We will create jobs in the wood chip processing and handling. The second component is the wood boiler. The wood chips are burnt in the wood boiler to create heat. The third component is the turbine and electric generator. The heat from the boiler is used to turn the turbine, which in turn creates power in the electric generator. This equipment is very common and provides cost-effective and reliable power to the community. Preliminary review. Preliminary work on the biomass study has been completed. More technical and financial review is underway. The proposed biomass generation facility is a viable initiative for Neskantaga First Nation as per the following. The biomass generation facility is financially feasible with the annual net revenues available for the community. The proposed biomass facility is more cost-effective than the diesel generating station. This will allow our energy bills to be reduced. The facility is technically feasible with proven efficient equipment to provide dependable power to the community. Biomass is a clean energy source that is renewable. Biomass power generation is carbon neutral and does not impact climate change. The biomass will be harvested following a forest management plan that will be community developed and community approved, creating a much healthier forest in the long term. The biomass system is a better choice for the community, as it is cheaper, allowing lower energy costs, cleaner, creates jobs, provides growth potential and revenues to the community. Community ownership leads to community development. A new biomass power generating station will allow community growth. We will have sufficient power to support the building of new houses, renovating existing homes, and even the building of a daycare. Other facilities like a new community store, an expanded arena and community center, and a community well-being center are possible as well. Our First Nation will own the project, have full control of the new company and the board of directors. This energy project supports our goal to be self-sustaining and fully respects our sovereignty as a nation. Next steps. Chief and Council to launch a communication strategy to ensure all community members, both on and off reserve, are informed to the proposed biomass power generation project and can provide input and feedback. Chief and Council and Tagoga Development Corporation to work together diligently to complete the feasibility study on the proposed biomass power generation project. Begin discussions and negotiations with Indigenous Services Canada on a financing model for the proposed biomass power generation. Begin discussions and negotiations with the Ministry of Natural Resources and Forestry on the required fiber permitting. Community members will have an opportunity to review all relevant information for the proposed biomass power generation project and will have the opportunity to provide feedback to Chief and Council. Tagoga Development Corporation was chosen by Chief and Council to complete the feasibility study and to be the development partner moving forward. Develops biomass-fueled power projects for remote First Nation communities, replacing outdated diesel generating systems. Currently has a pilot program with letters of intent with 3 Indigenous communities, financial capacity to develop and to build sustainable biomass utilities for community ownership with no investment by the community. Has an experienced development team, including First Nation business executives with decades of direct experience in First Nation sustainable energy projects. Canada is neglecting northern communities, and the communities are the ones facing the challenges every day. We need to change the outcome one step at a time. We would like to thank you for your time to view this presentation today. Please feel free to contact Walter Manitwabi or Kirsty Corbier directly should you have any questions or comments. Miigwech.